here to talk about the season finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And this is going to be an interesting conversation because I think that you and I are not on the same page when it comes to this. I've watched some of your videos, Paulie, and I
watched all of your videos.
Oh, you have? Okay. Well, I've watched some of your videos. I haven't watched them all.
Well, quick spoiler. Luke Skywalker lives.
Yeah. Well, this is what, look, let's talk about you can't just watch this show blind. Even though if there's things that you like about it, you're going to find things that are just going to be incredibly frustrating, right? Like I'm sure that you have, I would say episode 4 might be the worst episode of an original Disney Plus series. I just think that particular episode was pretty bad. But this is the season finale. My prediction is it will not be the end. I think we're going to see we may or may not see a season 2 of Kenobi. What we're going to see is the continuing adventures of young Leia. You're going to see continuing adventures of Reva. They've now introduced her character into the Star Wars universe, and I don't think she's going away. I think you're going to see her pop up and stuff.
Is that what this show is supposed to be called?
It's supposed to be called The Adventures of Young Leia. That's why that popped up there.
Oh, it's very clever of you, Chris.
We're going to take breaks and get to your chat questions and comments soon. But I thought that this was just my overall impressions before we start to get specific, that I thought this was a disappointment. I feel like it shows a profound lack of attention to detail by the producers and in particular the director, Deborah Chow. And I'll go into what some of my issues are with her directing. Clearly, I believe that she's a competent director. And the term that one would use, which is probably a sexist term now, is called journeyman. It's a director that you give them a script and I'll do what you just told me. Nothing necessarily original, no flair or personality, or nothing that would necessarily, when you see certain directors and you go, well, that's a Robert Rodriguez movie. You don't even know who directed it, but you can tell.
As soon as you said journeyman, I thought Rodriguez.
Yeah. Well, no, I think Rodriguez is better than that, or at least in his lower budget days. But there's
I meant how they brought him in when he did that one Mandalorian episode. He really wasn't part of the of their nucleus of creative directors. He was like a journeyman on that. He came in last minute.
Right.
That was probably his best episode.
Yeah, the journeyman will get it done on time, on budget, and everybody will be happy, and you'll get your martini shot before the sun goes down. But I was I'm conflicted by a couple things. There are a couple things in this particular episode that I actually quite enjoyed.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe we'll start with that because it's a shorter list. When in the lightsaber,
it's your channel, Chris.
Okay. In the lightsaber duel at the end, which I thought was ridiculous, it just went over the top with rocks. And a lot of people are going to complain about the rocks. For some reason, rocks seem to play a big part in Jedi training and now combat. Rocks have been used in Luke's Jedi training in The Empire Strikes Back on Dagobah, right? In episode 2, Yoda used, there was some rock stuff in his fight with Count Dooku. Rey at the end of The Last Jedi kind of elevates all these rocks and kind of, frees a space in the end of the cave, the other end of the cave, where those little ice creatures were getting out. So, it's not unprecedented that rocks have been used. It's just incredibly ridiculous. And then the way that the camera shook, and by the way, the way that the camera shook during that lightsaber duel at the end between Vader and Kenobi, we've just rushed right to the end. We've just rushed right to the end. I'm not going to go chronologically with the story. I'm going to tell you the things that shaking effect, that's an effect that you can do in After Effects. That's like a post effect. And I feel like what they did was, and somebody commented to me as I was on the Nooner, a lot of the post-production looked amateurish. I want to share screen right here to something that was sent to me by, I hope I can say his name, Vic Vegas. May not be his real name, but Vic Vegas sent me this thing. This is a comparison of a Star Destroyer, and the top is Obi-Wan. Look how ugly and muddy and dark that looks, right? And
Mm-hmm.
look at the laser bolts, and then look at that is from the original Star Wars Episode 4. They can't even get the lasers right. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't get that right. The thing, okay, let me get to the one thing I liked when Darth Vader was exposed, and you heard sort of half Vader, half Anakin talking. I kind of liked that.
Yeah, half Hayden, half James Earl Jones.
Right.
Seemingly within one line of dialogue. Yeah.
Exactly. Like that was like, oh, that's great. More of that. To me, the best parts of that final lightsaber duel weren't the parts where they were dueling. It was the parts where they were talking, because it was filled with some drama, some pathos. And it still didn't really pay off, in my opinion. It didn't pay off in the sense that there was some sort of resolution. Does Obi-Wan have any guilt about, like, he was fooled and he's not the only reason, but one of the reason that the galaxy has spiraled into authoritarianism? Like, he's kind of shares some blame for that. And I feel like he's not accountable, right? Just because he saved one girl, right? Which I feel like a lot of the stuff just canon-wise just doesn't match up for me, which is annoying. But these are my overall.
This is your positive list?
This is my positive list is like one thing. And then there's something, and thank you, shout out to Flaccid Phoenix, who's in the chat, starring your comments, producing on the show. Flaccid Phoenix is there. Subscribe to his channel. He dug up, I was complaining about, there's a shot. It looks so cheap. I'm just going to show it to you. It's just a few seconds. And it is, where did that shot go? Did I upload it to the wrong? I may have uploaded it to the wrong thing. No, here it is. It's a video. Okay, so it's 6 seconds. I'm just going to show you.
Okay.
Oh, well, wait. Here, the show starts with this. This is why I don't believe that Disney Plus as a streaming service, I don't believe they're going to survive, is because stuff like that. This is, the entire channel is being geared towards children. You got trigger warnings on, look, it's Star Wars. They have lightsabers, arms will be chopped off. You know, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So that, for one, but the cheapness, not just of the post-production, but of the production itself. Let me just, okay. So there's the ship that is escaping from the Star Destroyer, right? Obi-Wan's on the ship. Leia's on the ship. Crushed. Everyone calls him Crushed Ice.
O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Yeah, they're all on the ship. Ships. They're trying to get away. They're being blasted at. I don't know why they don't send out TIE fighters. Why are they not sending out TIE fighters? What's the deal? Don't get it. But so in the ship, as the ship,
they're on a budget.
Yeah, as the ship is going like this, there are literally against the wall chairs from IKEA. I am not making this up. And like Leia gets out of a chair and Obi-Wan.
How many times have you seen this? Because I
watched it twice. I've
seen it twice. I didn't. You know, that your attention to those details is incredible, Chris.
Look, I've directed films. I'm detail oriented.
Hey.
I'm anal retentive about stuff. I'm working on a film now, and fonts are bothering me. Okay, I'm very detail oriented with this stuff.
I love
it. Don't get into a font conversation with me, Paulie.
Hey! I'm just the Mexican help today. That's all I'm doing.
Hey, and I'm sorry, we launched right in with this show. I'm so guilty because I was like 2-3 minutes late. I'm usually never late, but Paulie, it's always good just to hang out with you. We always have a good time talking movies and stuff. And I don't care if you vehemently disagree with me. I want to hear your thoughts. But let me just show you this thing with the chair. There's no way to show. If I showed you a still, you'd go, well, that's just a chair. When you see it, it like wobbles when you get out of the chair. That's how loose it is. And like I've even got here in my room where I got a couple lights. You can put sandbags down. This is like a staple on a film set. You have like a sandbag, usually like 10 pounds. You throw it on something, it doesn't shake. You throw a couple sandbags down on a light, no one's going to knock it over if they bump into it, right? You could throw a sandbag on a prop. So let me just, it's a 6-second video, and thank you to Flaccid Phoenix for clipping this. Look, this is going to be like the Zapruder film. The worst one, I don't know if Flaccid Phoenix is able to do. The worst one is when Leia gets up out of the chair like wobbles. We need to see, look, this is really important to me. And by the way, like George Lucas is just as anal retentive. If you know anything about the making of at least the original trilogy of Star Wars, this guy is super anal. That's why I love.
Well, and he had an excuse. It was called a budget in the 70s. And
right,
even then, yeah.
Even then, that stuff just
even then up. It drove him crazy.
Let's watch this video again. It's going to be like the Zapruder film. I need you to see this. And people in the chat, tell me about this. Where can I buy this chair online? Can I get it at Wayfair? Official Obi-Wan Kenobi chair from that shapeless ship that they're. What is that ship even shaped like? The design of the original ships in the show are freaking lazy. They look like this is here. I got this little. I stopped using this mic because I didn't like the sound. It's this Tula mic. This is what the ship looked like. That's the ship. Is this little microphone that I have?
That was the ship. Was that the actual prop they used?
No, it's not. That's a. See, it's the same shape as what I'm telling you. Or it's the same shape as that ship that was trying to escape from the Death Star.
They asked me to work on the show as well, and I came up with
really? Yeah, that would be a good ship. It's supposed to be. George Lucas said he made that ship shaped like a hamburger because he loves delicious hamburgers. Another reason to
this is the Taco Bell one.
Is that the Taco Bell one? Oh man, I love it. Did you get that during like when?
Dude, I have two big sets. I'll give you a couple.
Okay. All right.
I went to a I can save the story for later.
I'll save the story for later, but let's look at this chair thing again. And please, I really want your opinion. Am I off base on this? The chair seems cheap. Here's the problem. The chair is not secured to the, so if you're like, have you ever seen those videos of cruise ships like during a storm, and you see the cruise ships during the storm, and the cruise ship will go like this, and all the chairs go like that, and then it goes like this, and then the chairs go. It just like it's like one of those, like if they're being chased by a Star Destroyer, they've got all these chairs. Wouldn't they just be flopping all over the place because they're not secured? It just looks so. It looks like he was in a waiting room to see the doctor.
Okay, now
right, here we go. There's your Star Wars. You look like you're in a waiting room. I mean, look, the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel looks better than that.
Now that you mention it, Chris.
See? Now that I mentioned it.
In that series of shots where he's standing there telling everyone, hey, I got to do this. I think I did see an overhead luggage container shake as well.
Go watch it again. I'm telling you. But it's that lack of attention to detail. Now, we're going to go through it in more detail. I want to get your impressions before we launch in and we're going to do we're going to do more of a breakdown than what we just did with the chair. Flaccid Phoenix, shout out to Flaccid Phoenix's channel for that. But okay, so what are your thoughts? You've watched all 6 episodes now, and you could say, look, I will even be forgiving. I'll say, look, every series, you're going to have some weak episodes because you're saving budget for other episodes, right? You're going to go, okay, we really want this finale or this particular episode to have something important. Like, how does this, and I don't think this should have been a series. I think it should have been a movie, and I think it should have really
it's going to be a movie. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Well, I think that you could edit together if you cut out all the dumb stuff and all the subplots and side characters that are very not particularly memorable. I think this would make almost a good. When I say good, I mean C-, like a nearly watchable. But I just feel like that lack of attention to detail is what gets me. Are there enough moments to pull together 2 hours? I don't know. But Paulie, what is your impression of the final episode?
Final episode. I absolutely loved it.
What?
I was very entertained.
Okay, it was great having Paulie on. I'm kidding. All right. Yeah. Okay.
With everything that you said, right? I don't disagree as far as like I've stopped paying, as far as like the level of, special effects, the cheapness here, the cheapness that. I'm like, is is the story compelling enough for me? Am I having a good time? Am I being entertained? And I have to say, the last 2 episodes, absolutely.
I'm not. First of all, it's. I got to turn my air conditioning on. Hopefully, you won't hear the sound. Mm-hmm. But I have to say, I've seen stuff like that. I know what you're talking about. Like if you're so caught up in something and you're really loving something, it's like you can look over details. I mean, look, you're also talking to somebody who I love trauma movies, right? Like trauma movies, but I know what I'm getting into. The bar is, well, it's lower than my desk for a trauma movie. So
yeah.
But I know with the trauma movie, I'm going to be entertained. There's probably going to be some bare naked ladies at some point. There might be a toxic Avenger. It's going to be ridiculous and over the top. Someone's going to get their arm ripped off. There's going to be just like a ridiculous over the top accidents and gunplay and car crashes and explosions. I love trauma movies for what they are. This is Star Wars. My expectations are much higher. And the fact that I'm sitting here and it's not like much of what I'm saying, not necessarily original. A lot of people have pointed out some of the flaws that I've already pointed out. And we'll get to more of those flaws. By the way, 600 people watching. Thank you so much.
How many?
Slap that like button. 600 people. So thank you for that.
That's great. Awesome.
Appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah. Get those likes up more, guys. Come on.
It'll help get this.
It helps Chris. It helps
the live stream. Helps the live stream get recommended. But I got to say, like, my expectations are higher in the fact that I'm able to point out some of these things. Look, if I'm on set, not good enough. Send that back. This has to be more dynamic. Let's have a ship that you can recognize. Like, look, a 5-year-old can draw a picture of a TIE fighter. Okay. Children can draw pictures of X-Wings. They're crude, whatever, but it's because the shapes are so simple. Right? Those ships have become iconic and they become recognizable. Draw the ships from Obi-Wan. Draw any of the original ships or vehicles. And I would say even for this Star Wars sequel trilogy, they're almost nothing. I mean, the freaking Boba Fett ship, which is called Slave One, by the way. Boba Fett's ship is shaped like an iron. Every kid, when you finally saw Boba Fett's ship, you took an iron and you're like, dude, it's like an iron. Like, it's like these weird, George Lucas just had this mind for like, let's take some of the most bizarre, iconic shapes. Let's turn them into recognizable. I love that. I love how his creative brain worked. But I want to hear your argument for why you enjoyed it. And in particular, tell me about episode 6. I'm just going to turn on my air conditioning real quick. Give me a sec.
Is it hot?
Yeah.
Episode 6. I wrote a few notes down after I seen it twice, and I got some. We could talk later on about this idea of the film. I hear that they're going to do a film version for, or they're going to release it. Freedom from the Past from Obi-Wan and Reva, and showing mercy, which is probably why Obi-Wan didn't kill Vader. He never could kill Anakin, and he just never could. I loved the Qui-Gon moment at the end. That was incredible. I love what you said as far as the duality of Darth and Anakin. That was incredible. His absolute aggressive, obsession with Kenobi, and then for the Emperor to like put him in check, that was really cool. What else? Reva. Boy,
Reva's look.
If people didn't like me in the chat right now, they're gonna even hate me more. But that's all right. That's okay. I love this character. Now, Reva, I'm talking about.
Well, let's just read real quick a quick comment. Hank VP says Paulie cashing those Disney checks. So we'll just
I mean, listen. Zach said avert your eyes. So I'm not gonna read. I saw 1 or 2 comments that weren't too friendly. I'm just having a good time. You know,
what do you like about the Riva character? Like, I feel like she's not what, because I
her
think
revenge, her whole thing was to avenge them, like her brothers and sisters, as far as the other Jedis that were all killed, and that was a great driving force. It's a great character. It reminded me of what could have been with Finn. You know, we were all kind of promises like, oh, this stormtrooper to become a Jedi. This was very interesting to me. And she said, you know, I failed. I let them all down. And Kenobi's like, you didn't. You know, you showed mercy. Like, you know, we can discuss whether her tactics were smart or not, which they weren't. You know, I get that in episode 4, but I thought some of her best acting was in episode 1 and 5 and 6. Okay, I want to save that moment for later. The uncle. I thought that the parents on both sides, the adoptive parents on both sides, were great. Uncle Owen and Beru, I love that. I wanted more of them. Yeah, that's what I enjoy. That's what I was entertained.
So what you're saying is that your standards have been lowered, so the bar's been lowered so much by Disney that you just enjoyed it, which you're perfectly fine.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that, Chris.
I'm saying that.
Chris. You're saying that, Chris.
I'm saying that.
Don't turn on me like your chat's doing.
Oh, the chat is not loving you right now.
I'm not even paying attention. I love you guys in the chat. I'm just not reading every.
Check out.
If I did, channel. Then I'm like, well, maybe I should change my.
No, don't change your. Like, don't change your opinion. It's fine. I mean, look, this show has gotten mixed reviews. It's gotten mixed reviews. And by the way, check out Paulie's channel at Latino Slants.
Oh yeah, they're gonna run and subscribe now.
They're gonna run. They're gonna run.
Listen, yeah.
Oh wait, Alan Ng, who might be co-hosting the show with me on Friday. He might. I don't know. We have T. Anthony Shear, got Paulie. Alan, we have options now. So Ingtopia says the series does not strive for excellence.